Hello Internet, it's Jan Beta. And look what I just found right next door on a pile of trash. A Philips PM3214 Oscilloscope. And yeah, despite from being really grimy and dirty and stinking like an ashtray basically, this looks quite reasonably good. Given that it's a 1978 scope. But I nearly suspect that this is a working oscilloscope, or at least it's gonna be possible to repair this if it's not working or if it has faults. So what I'm gonna do is to take a look inside and inspect it closer, and then I'm gonna try to power this thing up. And maybe I just got a free scope. So to open this, we have to loosen these two screws here. Oh, and look at that. It has an inspection mark from 1994, which is, yeah, it's a while back, but at least it has been inspected at some point. So maybe it was used in some kind of professional environment, I guess. So let's open these up, and then the whole case should just slide off and we can look at the insides, I guess. So that should allow me to remove this. And yeah, there's the transformer on the back there, and I should be able to unplug this. Yeah. Then I can just put this whole back plate away, which I'm gonna do, and we can see inside. Okay, so here we are. This is basically the back of the scope here opened, and it looks as if even the fuse that is here, which is the mains fuse, I suppose, is intact. And also there is, if we look a bit to the right, there's this is where the very high voltage for the tube is located, so no touchy. And yeah, there's a flash there and a warning sign somewhere. No, there's no extra warning sign, just this little, dangerous flash there. So yeah, but I will measure the fuse if it's intact. If it's intact, then chances are that this is at least not terribly broken, that the power supply is at least intact. So let's check that with the multimeter. So I have my meter hooked up in the continuity testing mode. Let's see if the fuse is okay. Yeah, and damn sure it is. So there's nothing wrong with the power supply, I guess, which would have most definitely blown the fuse. Yeah. Let's have a closer look at the insides of this. So the whole case here should just slide off to the back. Let's try that. There we go. So put it aside. Let's have a closer look. So here's the main circuit board, or it's one board. And there's the power supply board, I guess, in the back. Yeah, this seems to be all the logic that's in here. There's some smaller boards down there, but yeah, this looks really nice. And it's really clean from the inside. It's really, really dirty, and it feels sticky because it feels like it has been smoked on for years or decades even. So it's really, really sticky. I have to clean the case really thoroughly if I want to use this, and if it works, we don't know yet. So I'll inspect the whole board here. Let's get a bit closer. You can also see the big, nice tube here, which has the little flash logo on it. And interestingly, it was made in France, whereas Philips is a brand from the Netherlands. The tube was produced in France, which is quite interesting, I guess. Yeah, look at all this goodness here. This just, yeah, it's so beautiful. I like how the old tin-plated boards look. This is 70s vintage. It was made in 78. So, yeah, it was very up to date then. It was a very modern design, I guess. So today it looks ancient, but given this will work, which I almost suspect, it all looks nice. I don't see any burned resistors or stuff like that. Yeah, no, nothing seems to be. It's a bit yellowed and stuff, but nothing seems to be burned here. So we don't know if the tube is fine. These break sometimes, but it sure looks okay from the outside. Nothing to see there. No glass is broken or stuff like that. No obvious faults here. This looks a bit bodgy, but it's almost there. Let's see from the other side maybe. So here's the other side of the board. There's some botch resistors there, but yeah, not much on here anyway. And what I see looks fine, I guess. So there's no often when parts are overheating or stuff like that, you can see brown marks on the backside of the circuit board. Oh, there's a bit. Someone was in there, I guess, and soldered something in, but it may have been done at the factory. There's a sloppy solder job. There was some. I guess this is the little logic chip that was socketed there. Let's see. I think someone had a go at this at some point. The one that was changed is this one here, I guess, because it was maybe broken. So maybe one of the logic chips or stuff may be broken. But I guess I don't see anything that would blow right up into my face, I guess. If I wouldn't have gotten this for free, I would probably make some more tests with the multimeter at least. But yeah, I'm taking into account that nothing looks horribly wrong with this, no burned parts or stuff like that. I guess it won't blow up if I just try to power it on, which I think I'll do. Yeah, I think so. I just give it a try. If it blows up, at least I will have it on video and have a nice, spectacular video to post, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna close the case again, so no high voltage will be, so I'm not in danger, I guess. Yeah, and then we'll see if it works. There's something glued to the side of the case here with some sticky tape, so let's investigate that. Oh, and it says Thermosicherung für Trafo, which is the thermal fuse for the transformer. I guess that blew sometimes, I guess. Well, I have 2 spares here in this little bag, that might come in handy. Maybe the fuse is broken in there. So I'm just gonna remove the tape here, and I'll stick it in there maybe with I'll stick it in there later again with my own tape. So let's close the case again. Secure this a bit. So after some wiggling, I got it back together, I guess. So let's reattach the transformer. Let's see where the thermal fuse is located. I guess you have to take this whole thing off to get to the fuse. Yeah, use only Philips fuse. It's written on there. So we have some of that. Let's see how this connects to the board there. This. So now it's back together, I guess. Let's see. So here we are, all back together. Yeah. I guess we have to try to power it on. This has many functions that my other scope doesn't have. So it would be nice if this was working. So yeah, let's just try it. I guess I'm a bit afraid that it blows up, but if it blows up, so what? I just got this for free in the trash, and if it blows up, I still have something I can try to repair, which is kind of the whole reason this channel exists, even and I'm making videos. So if this blows up, I'm gonna try and repair it, I promise. Yeah, and there goes the power LED. And it's totally normal that it will take some time till this comes on. And there's a trace, I saw it. Look at that, there's a trace. Do you see the trace? Maybe I'll reposition the light a bit so you can see the trace. There's a trace. It's so amazing. So we can put the position somewhere. Here, adjust the focus. Look at that. And even the focus, it still works. The focus still works. Let's see. Do we have second trace, first trace, second trace, 2 traces. Wow. All right. The switches are a bit dirty, but it seems to work. Ah, nice. Nice. That's nice. Yeah, the switches are really dirty. Nice. So let's hook something up and see what it does. Let's take out my signal generator app that I have on my tablet, I guess. So I just, for the sake of being much cooler than with the signal generator on the tablet, I just dug out my real signal generator, so to say. My Jupiter 2000 Black Star signal generator, which I'm gonna make a separate video on at some point, because this is quite a nice little unit. But I'm gonna hook it up and we'll make some tests, I guess. So I hooked up my signal generator here, and I have it set to approximately 1 kilohertz sine wave, and the other channel is connected to the TTL output, which is a logic output that should output a square wave at 1 kilohertz. Yeah, so let's see. I'm a bit excited. Let's see if this works. Let's turn on the signal generator. Yeah, it does, at least does something there. There's my amplitude. So let's see the amplitude here. Should just, so there's something at least. Wow, it's a bit fuzzy. I think the contacts are really fuzzy. So okay, channel B. I should trigger off channel B. How can I do that? Trigger B. So no, I think I should trigger off the channel A. Okay, it does something. I think the triggers may be a bit damaged there. So there we have. The trigger seems to work, but the contacts seem to be really dirty. So I guess I'll just have to clean some contacts. There we go. That's quite a clean sine wave. So I really, yeah, I think that's the triggers on B, on the B input. So, yeah, this thing seems to work. What a nice find. Let's see if it triggers on higher. Yeah, the time division knobs are really crusty. I have to clean it all, but there's our 10 kilohertz, 100 kilohertz. Wow, works a treat, I guess. 1 megahertz. Look at that. Yeah, there we go. It's a working scope, I guess. I can. The intensity of the, yeah, it's not too great at 1 megahertz, but you can clearly see the trace there. So yeah, this seems to work. And I just found it in the trash. So what? What's happening to people? I mean, I don't know if there was, this was basically being kicked around when I found it, so I just rescued it, I guess. I don't know if there was some kind of sign on it saying, take this, it still works, or something like that. But yeah, basically I thought, wow, it's a scope, I have to check it out. So I took it, and all the knobs were on there, so I thought, wow, this might just work. And it does. So I'll clean this up and probably have another scope in my collection here. So great that I found this. Nice thing. The contacts need some cleaning, and maybe I'll have to re-solder some joints there, but yeah, this looks great. Nice thing. Wow. Yeah, nice sharp trace there, and you can illuminate the grid here. That's a feature none of my other scopes have. Yeah, nice. Very, very nice. So the intensity is also, it's really crusty, but I'll just have to clean it, I guess. This seems to be working quite well, so I'm gonna leave it at that for this video, I guess, and maybe make another video of how this turns out after I cleaned this and reviewed it really thoroughly, and maybe I'll re-solder 1 or 2 of the solder joints in there, but yeah, this, yeah, wiggling on the knobs there. This is a nice scope, and it seems to be functional. At least some of the functions that I could test here are working a treat. So if you want to follow me on some of the social media stuff, you can look in the video description. There'll be a link to Twitter and Facebook, and well. I'm quite active on Twitter, and Facebook is really just a copy of the Twitter stuff. So yeah, if you are on Twitter, you can follow me there. You get in touch, comment on this, give it a thumbs up, support me with some money. There's a Patreon link, and there's a PayPal link, and yeah, watch my other videos, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time. I'm Jan Beta. Bye.